There is so much to be thankful for. Take a look around and see everything we have within us, everything we want to be. All we need to sustain and keep us arise on time as we prepare. Let us thank God for our blessings and all His precious love we share. There is so much to be thankful for. Take a look around.
Gee, how's everybody doing?
Good.
You all doing okay out there in TV land? In Facebook Live land? Oh, wow. It's still 2020, right?
Yeah.
Thought so. Still this thing called pandemic going on?
Until we have more months.
Yeah. Okay. All right, just checking. I, wasn't sure if I was sleeping. Maybe I needed to wake up, or. So we're talking about cosmic connection. Brene Brown says this: spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, and that our connection to that power and to one another is grounded in love and compassion. Doesn't that feel good? Well, it feels good because it's the truth, right? We know it to be the truth. That's why we're all here, I think. We come together on Sunday mornings, whether it's via Facebook Live, whether you walk in these doors, but we want to be together. And it's such an odd feeling that we can't hug and that we can't, do the things that we're used to doing. But it doesn't change the fact that we're still here together. And, there is something about that idea of connection. There's something about Sunday mornings that I look forward to, no matter whether, it's going to be, I got to write a talk. I guess I could try to change that mindset, right? Instead of, I got to write a talk, to, woo, yippee, I get to write a talk. And that really is the place it does really come from joy. I'm not really that type of girl that does stuff that they don't want to do. You may not know me that well, but that is really the truth of me. I get to write a talk. I get to be here with you all more than anything. I get to practice this teaching. And I get to express love and joy. And, this week I had a great week. I connected with some practitioners that I hadn't really talked to. Not a lot. I mean, we see one another in passing. Get to go to coffee with some every now and then. But, that idea of I'm going to make sure that I'm going to call, whether via Zoom or call or we're going to meet, and I'm going to call each one and we're going to connect. Now, there's an idea, right? There's an idea. So I talked to quite a few of them, and Lauren and I have been friends. We took all of our classes together, along with Reverend Cheryl, Reverend Dan, and so I've known Lauren. I don't know. I think Megan, her daughter, started coming here when she was 6 years old. So Megan turned 21 a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, Megan turned 21. Can you believe it? Cheryl, you're getting old. Jeez. I knew you back when? 21 years old. Lauren, you're getting old, girl. Just kidding. But it brought back such good memories and such fond memories of my own 21st birthday.
You can remember it?
I can remember it. Vaguely. Well, for other reasons. For other reasons. But the thing about turning 21 that triggered my memory was, it was my first trip to Las Vegas.
Oh, God.
It was my first trip to Las Vegas. And I remember leaving. I was living in LA at the time. We had 2 cars full of people. I remember not telling my father, so he was a little upset with me because he had something planned. And I got in the car with my friends, I just remember that feeling somewhere between Barstow and Baker. And it was really quiet. People were, they're asleep or passed out or something in the car. And I remember looking out the window and looking up and looking at all the beautiful stars. And feeling connected. Knowing that there was a source, not only out there but within. And that I was with this group of people that I knew loved and cared about me, as well as my family. And I felt so connected in that love. You've all had those moments, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Where you just can feel it. Yes. You can just, and you just know that no matter what it looks like, you're surrounded in love. And so, we got here to Vegas, had a great time. I don't probably remember much of the rest of it. But really, I remember that distinctly as after talking about Megan and her 21st birthday. And I feel that feeling, I would say fairly often, but not to that degree, because I don't often look up at the stars, and you know what I mean? I feel it with people, but not with the whole of the universe. And so it was a good memory. Yeah. And it's always there. The stars don't go, I mean, it's kind of hard to see with the lights, the bright lights. But the stars don't go anywhere, do they? They don't go anywhere.
No.
We're just waiting for us to recognize them. Right? We're all stars sitting right here. And so, if nobody told you today yet, I love you, I love you. And I don't have to know you to love you. I don't mean that romantic type of love. I mean, I love you. You are my people. What was that you said, Aldo? You said something that was really profound at the end of your centering.
Person is a person through other people.
A person is a person through other people. A person is a person through other people. We're not on this walk alone. We're not designed to be on this walk alone. And we're going through, it's still 2020, we're still in a pandemic. And so we may have to do things a little differently, be creative about how we connect, maybe a little bit more mindful, but we have got to figure out ways to connect. And I don't mean for you to come out if you don't feel safe, but I mean for you to, this week, to make a conscious connection with someone that you haven't spoken with. Because tomorrow's not promised, right?
That's right.
It's not. I might, vanish right here on the stage right here and right now. You might never see me again. But the fact is, hopefully you'll remember me. So, you'll think of me. Because I will think of you. I will think of you. Each of you have left a handprint on my heart. And that is the truth, no matter whether it's in this building, whether it's in a grocery store, whether it's, some random meeting. That person that you see walking by, they came into your life for a reason. They say reason, season, lifetime. And so it may be just something in passing. But, I don't know, anybody think God makes mistakes?
No.
No mistakes, right? And so, therefore, there can't be accidents, right? God doesn't make mistakes. So, our job is to realize how special each one of us is. There will never be another you ever, 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 ever again. Never. Isn't that an awesome feeling? It's kind of an awesome responsibility too, right? Because whatever you're here to give, you've got to, come on, people. And I'm not saying you're not already doing it, right? And I remember thinking that, I grew up in the teaching, and I remember thinking that, but this is the mistake I made. And I knew enough about the teaching to know that if I thought the right and perfect things and to make my life work, and I did my work, I could make my life the way I wanted it to work. So it's pretty basic, but there's more to it than that, right? I could think the thoughts, and I wanted an A on a test, I could put the work in, because my belief system told me that I needed to actually study. And if I did that work, then I could get an A on the test. And usually that's kind of how my life worked at 14, 15, 16. No, before that. Yeah, 14, 15. You know, it kind of starts at 18, 19, I kind of came out of that, right? Because my world had shifted, and I didn't realize that my world had shifted based upon family dynamics. And what I had come to realize is that the divorce happened in my family, and so I no longer believed in what my parents told me because I thought all of that was a lie. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And because I thought all of that was a lie, and I was so sheltered and so believing and trusting in my parents, my belief system collapsed. Right? Not their fault, not their responsibility. I could have done things a little differently. That's not the purpose of this story. But the reason that I'm sharing this with you is I hadn't developed my own belief system at the time. It was all based upon them and what they thought. And so if I don't believe in them because they're not together anymore, then crash, right? And so it's so important to keep our belief system in the forefront of our minds. What do you believe about the universe? Do you believe that the universe is for you? Do you believe that this pandemic thing is going to be here forever and that we're all will just die hopelessly, lonely, and afraid? Anybody believe that? Or do you believe that perhaps, just perhaps, it can be something to look at that it's bringing a blessing to us, right? Now we've heard that on the TV this week, but I mean it in a different kind of way. I couldn't resist. Everything that happens, look for the blessing in it. Look for the blessing. Because when you look for it, guess what? You find it. And if you don't find it, keep looking. Keep looking. There are no mistakes. This thing called the pandemic is here to teach us something.
That's right.
Let's just buckle down and learn from it.
Yes.
Let's do that. You know, as I was saying, in high school, I found it really easy to get through high school. I found it, I'm not any better than anybody else. I'm not any smarter than anybody else, but I'm not smart. And so I just realized that what I put my mind to, what I put my thoughts on, that I could create the outcome that I wanted. That's what we teach here, right?
That's right.
Again, as long as you have the belief system to support that. And so we each have a responsibility to choose to be our highest and best selves, even when nobody's watching. Even when we're sitting in our home alone, it's our responsibility to be our best. I don't know what that looks like for you. That's not my job to know. I could help you find it if you don't know, so you're welcome to call me. But I know that there's something individually unique about each person. Each person has a gift. Each person has a gift. And all are not aware that each moment is a gift. I kind of think of in big pictures, right? I don't necessarily think about each and every step to get to my desired outcome. I'm not always present and mindful of that. I think for me, one of the gifts of this pandemic is that I am more mindful. I am thinking about how should I consciously connect with someone. I know some of you don't believe it, but I'm fairly introverted. I'm better than I used to be as a kid, but it's not, I don't want to talk. I just want to go home and I don't want to talk on the phone. That's not really me. Another Zoom call doesn't really interest me. And yet it's important that I make those connections because I have people here that love and support this center. And so I need to connect with them and make sure that they're okay. Because their well-being and my well-being is inextricably connected. So it was great speaking with some of the practitioners. I have more to speak to. And because their love and support is palpable. When you walk in the building, it's not just me and Cheryl. It's all of us that are making this thing keep going day after day. Patty and Dave, the Yvonne and Charlie and the sound guys and Julius, all of it. You know, I heard Aldo's beautiful centering and Daisy's beautiful prayer this morning, and then Patty singing. And you know, at one point in time, I was probably that girl that I thought, you know, well, I gotta top that. Anybody know? You know what I mean? I gotta top that. First of all, I could not ever top any of those things. Not the centering, not the prayer, and not the song. But instead of having to top that, I just have to be supported by it. Because that's the service. You know, there's so much that we gotta write a talk, gotta write a message. I get to enjoy the service. The love and the preparation that each person that has anything to do with this service puts into the service is the place that gets me vibrating right here. And so when I come from that place, then I don't have to do too much. I just have to show up and enjoy. And hopefully have a couple things to say. Couple things. In the Science of Mind textbook by Dr. Ernest Holmes, on page 369, it says this about connection. No man or woman ever walks life's road alone. There is ever another who walks with him or her. This is his or her inner self. There is ever another who walks with him or her. This is his or her inner self, the undying reality which his or her personality but poorly emulates. Let us learn to be still and let the truth speak through us. To be still, thank you Aldo, and know that the inner light shines. I love being by myself because I like me for the most part. And when I don't, I'm really best for me to be by myself. It really is, you know? It's like I don't want to show that. It's not who I really am. It's one facet of me. But I'm going to stay here until I get my stuff together and present a little differently and shine a little brighter. Y'all feel me? Yeah. And so I get myself together and then I connect. I go out there and connect. God is always expressing, and we are social beings. Again, we're in a pandemic. I get it. But we're here to give love and receive love. So, if you aren't currently, some of you on Facebook, you all are here. But if you aren't currently reaching out to someone, please make it a point to do so. Because as the video showed us, and that was before the I hope it's before the pandemic, because they were all hugging and kissing and nobody had on a mask. Doesn't necessarily mean that, here I go again, reel me back in. But the loneliness and the depression are on the rise. And we have this thing called Facebook, and we thought it was going to solve all of our problems. Right? Remember when you first got your Facebook account, for those of you on Facebook, and you're just all excited because your high school sweetheart 25 years ago, who is now balding and older and heavier, and you get to see them, and you're just like, whoa, and look at his family, and look at his wife, and look at his kids, and you're just, you know, having a great grand time. But it has come to pass now that they're realizing that that is not the connection that each of us needs to survive. And actually it's kind of having the opposite effect. People are getting depressed because some people are nobody's going on vacation too much right now, but they're traveling and you're seeing pictures of their travels and this and that, and there's a bit of envy. And it sounds so silly. And so why can't we just do it like we did it back in the old days? Why can't we knock on somebody's door? Well, they probably won't let you in. Maybe they have Ring. You can see their pictures, they'll let you in. But why can't we just knock on somebody's door? Do you know your neighbor? Anybody here know their neighbors? Yeah? Why can't we just smile as a way of just saying hi? They can't hear you through the mask anyway. But they can see your eyes are smiling. There's so many ways in which we can make this thing go, but we gotta make it go. Just like, I don't necessarily think we can afford to shut down again. I don't know. So what are we gonna do to stay socially connected? It's funny, like things get goofy when you're not connected, Because you get in this headspace like, I'm good by myself. I don't need it to be about anybody, That way I don't have to comb my hair, I don't have to get dressed, Anybody ever feel that way? Like, I'm just gonna stay here, stay put, I'm good. No, you're not good in that space. It's not how it's meant to be. Not how it's meant to be. The other day, Wednesday, I had stuff to do, I had phone calls to make, and Zoom calls, practitioners, and walked out in my garage, and my car wouldn't start. Well, I have a new car. The car wouldn't start. And, I was unnerved by that. But, guy came, jumped the car, and turned out I needed a new battery. But I got the car here, and I parked in a way that if I needed another jump, that I could jump it and get to where I needed to go to get the battery. And just the weirdest things happen when your car battery dies. Right? If you have a newer car. Right? I couldn't open the door. Trunk is messed, I can't open the trunk. Just random things. It's kind of like how we get when we're not connected to our source. We just get kind of goofy, right? So it's really, really important. And I know that there's people that are feeling anxious right now, with good reason. This is nothing to play around with, The virus is nothing to play around with. No matter what age you are, it really is something to be taken seriously. And in this, there's some room for us to be creative on how we stay connected. Christian Larson wrote The Pathway of Roses. And he says this: be not anxious for your life. Live your life according to the very highest light that is within you. Use fully and well all the potters that you have received. Give your best to the world at all times and under every circumstance. And depend upon the infinite for everything that existence may need or desire. And you will receive it. You need not be anxious about anything. God is greater than anything that can possibly happen. Have faith in God, Source. And Source will see you safely through. Things go wrong only when you fail to be your best and fail to take Spirit with you in everything you do. It is therefore in your power to place in that position where everything will go right. We teach that we have the power. It's our thoughts. Yes. We have the power. When you leave the house, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be safe. I am guided, guarded, directed, and protected in each and every step and each and every breath. Yes. And so say that or something like that when you leave your home. Yes. The lilies of the field are all that beautiful lilies can possibly be. And they depend wholly upon the powers divine that are within them. Accordingly, they are an inspiration to all of the world. And so are each of us. God didn't make any junk. There are no mistakes. There are no accidents. You are here for a reason. You came into this building for a reason. So now you are my friend. So if you need help, you make sure that you call Reverend Cheryl or myself. Because now your handprint is on my heart. And so now it's my responsibility to move you to the next level when you can't see you getting yourself there. Got it?
Got it.
Good. I love each of you so much. So, so much. And it is my honor and my joy to be a part of this center and this teaching. So I got a little affirmation today. So if you would, repeat after me. God is.
God is.
I am. We are.
We are.
One more time. God is. I am. We are. And so it is.
And so it is.
Make it a great week.
All right, I'm gonna ask Reverend Stacy to do our closing prayer. It's
I
kind
feel
of big.
like Hamilton. What's the like the king?
The
guy that announced
the message
king.
from the king.
Yeah, message from the king.
They'll be back.
But we have this in the office, and it's called My Prayer for My Country, and it's written by Dr. Ernest Holmes. So I just want to start off this election season with this. So if you would just lower or close your eyes, and I won't lower or close my eyes because I can't read that way. My belief system doesn't support that I can read that way.
She is so goofy.
Been a little not connected this week, can you tell? Believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America and the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression for all. I offer this, my prayer for my country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, directing the thought and the activity of who guides its affairs. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and the divine heritage of everyone in this country, that they are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of the people of this country, causing it to know that economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression.
Yes.
I know that no one can believe or be led to believe that personal freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security for all. The all-knowing mind contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader in this country is now directed by this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. Each impelled to act upon this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. And I know that this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. And so, thank you, Dr. Holmes, for that. And I'm just knowing that during this season, election season, which is so important for this country, not only for this country, because we are inextricably connected to each and every other country. I'm knowing that this election is peaceful.
Yes.
I'm knowing that the right and perfect person is chosen,
Yes.
and that we continue to move forward as the most blessed country in the world.
Yes.
And for this, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
And together we say,
And so it is. All right, that's good. Thank you, Reverend Stacy. If you would please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
I know this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Have a great week.